Hello everyone, Mario the Pieman here for some more Star Trek Online. Now, again, hopefully I'm getting the sound balance a bit better. Bit of trial and error here, I'm afraid, guys, so just bear with me. So, for those who came in late, we were at a conference, Deep Space Nine. So these are the additional missions, they're not part of the main sequence, they're optional side quests effectively. But in this one, we have gone to Deep Space Nine, and we have attended a conference only for a bunch of Dominion ships to appear. And basically, what we've found out about, what we've discovered, is that that the fleet is actually the one that got vanished in Sacrifice of Angels. And we've now got to go and try and find someone from the Dominion to tell them to sod off. Now, what I've actually got to do here, I'm actually just going to bring up the mission again. So we do have to go to Deep Space Nine, but it's a small craft mission, so we are actually going to have to switch to our shuttle. Do that by visiting the small craft bridge. So I will quickly switch to small craft and then leave ship interior. The upshot is we don't need to jump cut because we're very close to Deep Space Nine. Ignore. But I'll decline. I'll be nice. I'll not just ignore them. So we have to go to Deep Space Nine. Little shuttlecraft. We have seen this before in other missions. I can't actually remember if I've equipped it that often, but actually sometimes the game does not like it when you do things like this, so I will fly there on manual. Look at me flying the spaceship at warp properly. Begin Operation Gamma. So, Satra is saying, Captain, the only way we can enter the wormhole without setting off Deep Space Nine defences is to disable the sensor clusters. If we do that, we'll blind ops. Someone's looking out a window, they'll see the wormhole open, but we'll be long gone before they have a chance to scramble to stop us. But to disable the sensor clusters, we've first got to find a way to around the Jem'Hadar are ships patrolling near them. Our ships are ready to engage the enemy. On our signal, they'll move in and attack. The Jem'Hadar, that will give us a chance to get to Deep Space Nine, disable the sensor clusters, and escape through the wormhole. So we signal the fleet. And a bunch of ships arrive. Now what we've got to do, and I've got to admit it, this is not one of my favourite missions, because it's got a reset. So what we are going to do is approach this sensor cluster. No, she's saying scanning clusters now, analysis complete, recommendations available for your review. We'll look at that. So Captain, we need to disable the sensor clusters in a specific order. Look for the alpha cluster first, then the beta cluster, and so on. Loris will order fighters and work bees to respond as soon as the first sensor cluster, and they'll try to repair them. If they succeed, we'll have to restart the process. Target destroy the work bees before they happen. Okay, so what we've got to do is disable the sensor cluster, and then I'll usually have to look out here because there's a work bee. Why am I sitting taking the fire? Because disabling the work bee is more important than fighting the Jem'Hadar. Out there. So hence why this gets quite annoying, because this is very much a rinse repeat. It doesn't help that I'm not hitting them at all. Maybe we should have used the Scorpion Fighter or something. I am absolutely missing these people constantly. Good grief. Blew themselves up in sympathy. Expect to see this a lot. I'm just checking. Yeah, if not, that's not badly equipped. It's not probably as prime as it could be, but I've definitely equipped a worse ship. So, oh, there's the other one. Right. Nope, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. Right, where's sensor cluster beta? It doesn't do it on every one at least, but it does it on more than you'd like. So you see, nothing there, so we'll get gamma. I think it does it on gamma, and then we've got another 3 to do. And each one, more work bees appear. Like I say, it's not... This mission actually just has a lot of annoying elements. It's really not one of my favourites. No, I'm too focused on the work bees to deal with you guys. But apparently Loris isn't going to notice the fact that ships keep exploding all around the station. You are getting a good view of the Deep Space Nine model, you at least get that. Even if we're trailing a lot of fire. Alright, those things are fusion reactors. I'm sure blowing a ship up next to them will not do any damage at all to the space station. Right. Yeah, I know. Nope, no one appearing, so we want to go to Epsilon. I can't remember if it's Epsilon or the last one. Nope. There's a work bee. This is a problem because I've got to wait 13 seconds and he might appear in that time. Which gets things a bit annoying, but I suppose you'll see the annoying thing that happens. I'm trying not to show you that. Nope, I don't want to target the Jem'Hadar fighter, I want to target the work bee. Will I get it? Or is it... There. That little triangle thing you might have seen in there, that's him basically gearing up for a suicide run. Because he'll explode when he passes me, like that. They have a habit of doing that, these Jem'Hadar fighters. No, this is fine. This is fine. Now I can't remember if there's another lot to do, but you know what? I'm going to just try it, because hopefully this should get us there. I'll let my shields and hull heal while we're doing it, but let's not sit you waiting for it to happen. Up, Tovankev's saying a Jem'Hadar attack ship's coming our way. He's jamming its comms.
Sir, the Jem'Hadar ship is on an intercept course.
I know,
Shields and weapons are at full, Captain. I'm ready to start an attack run.
Quite similar to the Vault mission, we've got to fight a bigger ship. The upshot is if I watch my speed, I think he's got a turret, he does. But should be able to get in on his tail and keep the forward weapons at least away from me. Trying to keep out of its forward weapons arc, it seems to be so... Might have even stopped. Ah, it's trying to turn. So he'll give up first. And you see him. Damn right I'm taking that. So that's one of my commanders. Vishka has come on and said, "Great job, sir. Communication coming back in from the fleet. They're preparing to break off and warp to safety. We should enter the wormhole as soon as possible."
Setting a course for the wormhole now. We'll be halfway to the Gamma Quadrant before the Jem'Hadar know what happened.
Well, that'll be good.
Impressive, isn't it? This is my first trip into the wormhole, sir. I've heard it's a place of great wonders and even greater dangers.
It's really just a
Captain
tube.
Curlin says there's a traitor in the Idron system who knows how to contact the Dominion. If we can get her assistance, we should be able to complete our mission quickly. However, Curlin says Farek's help comes at a high price. We must be ready. Once we're out of the wormhole, we should start searching for Farek's vessel.
There is actually a discontinued mission which took place inside the wormhole, which I kind of wish they'd bring back. I really quite enjoyed it. Yeah, but it's nice that they still did the inside of the wormhole. to fly to a beacon. Actually going to skip the ore at the moment.
I'm picking up a ship on long-range sensors, Captain. The configuration matches Farrick's ship, sir, but I'm detecting damage to several systems. There's no response to a hail, sir, but her communications array might be damaged.
Well,
Setting a course to the ship's coordinates now.
go to the next system. So we've got to destroy the shield generator. I'm actually going to check something just quickly. Just because I thought there was a... maybe not. Which one did we miss? Oh, Temporal Ambassador. We did the factory, but... nope. They took it out good. It was buggy as hell. There used to be a... oh, maybe it's in the... that might actually be it. It could be in the... temporal recruit mission, but there was a temporal beacon you had to pick up on this, and it was an absolute bugger to find. This is, I suppose, a lesson why you shouldn't, like I have, neglect your small craft, because they come up every so often in missions like this, and you will struggle, but at the same time it's easy to forget it's there. I haven't been in a small craft mission in a while, if I'm honest. But they've nearly destroyed the shield generator. Kind of a stupid place to put a shield generator, really, but I get the idea it's meant to be something that's kind of cobbled together. I do like the fact that they had these, that they did build these asteroids you can fly into. That's at least something. You know, that does actually, for a small craft mission, this is the sort of thing you should be doing. You shouldn't really be doing deep space stuff, you should be tight flying around stuff. Make it a bit more like a fighter. Where's Farrick? There should be a Ferengi ship in here somewhere. Oh, yep. There it is.
I can hear profit in the wind, and the wind is blowing.
That's good for you, Farrick. I'm really happy.
If you want it, I've got it.
Are you Farrick?
That's me, the best trader with the biggest deals in the sector. I have Utterberry futures, cultural artifacts from 100 different worlds, alpha current nectar, disruptor rifles, and the best salvage this side of the galactic barrier. Or maybe you're interested in something else. Need a guide to the Gamma Quadrant? How about someone who can take you to the
this is all nice,
hidden
but
markets? Or get you into the Dosi system unnoticed? If you have the Latinum, I have what you need.
Well, that's nice.
Time is money.
What happened to your ship?
Oh, that? Nothing really. Nothing you need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
You just can't make some customers happy. Time is money.
Why are you in the Gummy Quadrant?
Profit.
Okay.
While it's easier for women to run their own businesses now on Ferenginar, there's still a lot of prejudice. And I'm not about to stay home naked chewing tube grubs.
That sounds quite nice,
I
actually.
was a dealer of assorted and sundry merchandise in the Bolian sector till there was a slight problem with my business partners. Through absolutely no fault of my own, my business license from the FCA was temporarily revoked. Until I can get the paperwork straightened out, I decided to set up shop out here.
So, you're hiding.
It's great out here. There's hardly any competition and deals to be made everywhere. The Wadi aren't any trouble once you learn the rules of that crazy game. The Dosi are too scared of the Karema to be a real challenge, and everyone else is either running from the Dominion or part of it. Time is money.
I need to know how to find the Dominion.
Well, now, that's an interesting question. I know where to find the Dominion, of course. I can even get you in touch with a Vorta who has a direct line to the Founders. He's a close personal friend as well as a valued client. In fact, I always keep a case of Covenant Crunch on board just for him. However, the location of one of my best customers is not information I share for free. And no offense, friend, but you don't look like you can afford what I would charge.
Hey.
Time is money.
What would you want for the Dominion information?
I'll give it to you straight. Intel about the Dominion is hard to acquire, and therefore extremely valuable. You don't have a cargo hold big enough for all the platinum I'd want in exchange for the data, but I'm willing to consider an alternative method of payment. You see that planetoid over there? I have a limited amount of time to collect everything valuable from it that I can. And as you can see, my ship could use some repairs. While my crew and I work on fixing this baby up, I could use some help with the salvage. So, here's the deal. You get me something I can turn a profit with, and I'll tell you where you can find the Dominion.
So, the idea is Farrick wants us, this is a wee pop-up, Farrick wants us to deactivate several automated defence satellites. To do so, we will need to scan each satellite to determine the best way. We've analysed the types of device and created a tactical scan analysis. So we only have to do it on one career path basically. This was when they were still doing that. So there are types of problems where most encounter the defence satellites are. So active satellites use quantum scan and then remove ionic power core. Active sensor, remove power core and deactivate sensor batteries, and active detection deactivates sensor batteries and use magnetic wave pulse. But this is all timed, so I try to, well, I will probably check this before we do it again. This is, again, we've got to do this 4 times over, and it's a bit of a pain, because you've also got to find them. One of the things, unless they've patched it since last time, is these direction arrows don't actually vanish. So what you're best doing, we have this field of hollow satellites, and you're best trying to go at them one at a time, so you don't lose track, because it is easy to get lost out here, and there are swarmy things that will go for you as well. But so here is number 1. Now you might notice in here, through these there's various things. We've got defence satellites, there's also ships. If you're an engineering person, you'd have to deal with a ship. And there's a kind of cloud of gas or something for science. So same process, it's just a slightly different thing you look at. Kind of a bit much of a muchness. Again, your selection of role for this doesn't actually do much. I'm going to get within about 1 kilometre, so I'm going to stop. So I'm just reminding myself, active is quantum, active satellites, active sensors is power core. Hopefully I won't have to look this up too much, hopefully I won't make too much of a mess. So that's active sensors, quick check of the tactical report, active sensors, power core, and then batteries. That's one. Right, and then deactivate sensor battery. So that's us done 1. As you can see, it's not actually cleared out. It doesn't regenerate, we've just got to kind of deal with it, for want of a better word. But there's your derelict ship if you were doing it, and you can see they've kind of colour coded them as well. So our ones are red, the engineering ones are yellow, the science ones are blue, so they've kind of coloured it on the Federation department colours as well, which is nice. I mean, it was a nice touch, but you know, I have said I do like these additional missions. This is the one that, you know, in general, but this is the one that I do feel doesn't hold up particularly well. It has a very big feeling of busy work. And like I say, not having things to clear off means that you can spend a bit of time flying around trying to find which damn satellite you're meant to be doing next, which is a bit annoying. If you fail, a whole lot of swarmers come at you instantly. That's right, so what's this again? Active sensors, so that was power core and batteries. So I've got the same one twice. So, second one down. Hopefully I've not flown at these in a weird order, and that's actually the third one I'm looking for there. So yeah, like I say, lots of flying around. Again, most of these missions I actually do like. I say, this is a rare one where I appreciate what they're doing in this one and trying to do a small craft mission, making it a bit different. But I just the Deep Space Nine part and this part both are just kind of repetitive and annoying. Let's see if we get a different sort this time. Oh, detection. So detection was sensor batteries and then a magnetic pulse wave. So it's not difficult, it's trying to keep it in your head and remember the thing. And actually find your way to the individual asteroids. Does that look red to you guys? That looks red. Yeah, and I think that's the asteroid we came out of just over in this corner, so that would hint that I have done a rough circuit. Active enemy detection. That was a sensor battery. Look, I'm trying to use my memory here. And then magnetic wave pulse. So Satra's up saying we're receiving a hail from Farrick. She says she has what she needs and we should get our tails back to the ship before she loses any more profit. Okay. Right, see a little squiddy thing there. That's the swarmers I was talking about. We'll get annoyed by them soon. So hail the Krennic.
You want it? I've got it.
I've got what you asked for.
That's great. Nice doing business with you. I'll just verify the transport and then I'll contact my friend, the very important Vorta. I'm sure that he'll be able to help you with whatever you need.
Good. Providing you're not going to double cross me.
Quick! Cut the comm! Jump to warp! What do you mean we don't have warp drive yet? Get it going! Now!
I feel double crossed.
Wait, can they still hear me?
Yes, I feel double crossed.
You know the funny thing about resonance pulses? They drive the swarmers crazy.
They've never explained why there's swarmers here, but okay. Such saying, Captain, Farrick's vessel emitted a resonance pulse before she walked away. It's enraged the swarmers. We won't be able to engage warp engines until to take care of them, so we've got to defeat the Idran swarmers, which are those little squiddy things you saw. This is again kind of... I think with this fight, if I'd equipped my shuttle better, given it a turret, that makes life a lot easier, because it's quite hard to keep them in your forward field of fire. For all they're flimsy as hell, what I usually like to do is get clear and then put the ship in reverse, because if they get on your tail, you can't hit them, whereas the way they zip around you if you're going backwards, and if you can blow them up close to each other, that's an extra bonus. Half your issue is just getting them locked in. So Sartra's saying I have a lock on her warp signature. Farrick's ship is still damaged and her maximum speed is warp 3. We should be able to catch her easily. Yep, let's follow her. Farrick didn't lie about knowing how to find the Dominion. Her ship is surrounded by Jem'Hadar. I wouldn't say they're on good terms though. Farrick's ship's damaged again. If they've detected us, they're not making any hostile moves in our direction. I recommend they approach and see if they want to talk. So we're going to... approach all these rather terrifying looking Jem'Hadar ships in our tiny shuttle.
Farrick's ship has life support and engines, sir, but that's about it. Shields are failing, and she only has limited weapons. The lead Jem'Hadar vessel is hailing us, sir. Putting it on screen now.
So the representatives of the Alpha Quadrant finally make their way to seek aid from the Dominion. We have been expecting you. According to our information, you're having a slight occupation problem on Deep Space Nine.
You appear to be having a voice
able to
problem.
assist you with that problem. If you have come here in friendship.
I like the idea that apparently
And
the
as
guy
we all
that's the
know,
Jem'Hadar behind him saying things,
friends
but
help
I'll
one
explain what's actually
You can
happening
start
here.
by destroying this nuisance and her ship. She has intruded into the Gamma Quadrant without permission and is conducting unauthorized salvage operations in our space. The penalty for this is clear.
The penalty
By
for
all
the fake
rights, we should execute you as well. But I am willing to overlook your involvement this time. So, as the Ferengi would say, do we have a deal?
So, I'm going to get interrupted shortly, but I will explain what's going on there. So, I'm going to stop for a second. So, this didn't used to have Jeffrey Combs doing Weyoun's voice, and the Vorta wasn't actually Weyoun. It was just a Vorta. They gave him a name, can't actually remember what his name was, but it wasn't Weyoun. When they did the Deep Space Nine series of missions, the second one, later on where they revamped the whole of Deep Space Nine, they brought in people like Andrew, brought in most of the old cast that they could get, and Jeffrey Combs was there doing Weyoun, so they decided to bring him in here. But for some reason, and you might have heard it, I can't remember if it made it into the video with Andrew Robinson reprising Garrick. But yeah, the issue was that sometimes they didn't take out the old speech as well, so you get that kind of doubling of both characters speaking, which is a bit weird. But that's what happened. It's a slight glitch, which I think just no one's picked up on. I find it quite funny.
We are still friends, right?
I don't know, you betrayed me.
I'm in a bit of a spot here. Got any help for your old pal, Ferric?
Well, tempting to lock weapons, but I'll be nice.
Hey, friend. Look, I found the Dominion for you. You have to help me. They're crazy. Okay, I'll go. I'll go back to the Alpha Quadrant. I'll refund their latinum. I'll even give them what's left in my cargo holds. Just don't let them kill me. And that resonance pulse. Funny, huh? I knew those little suckers couldn't really hurt you.
Yeah.
If you let me go, I know Iran won't hunt me down again.
Iran?
He's got too many other problems to worry
Don't you
about
mean
a
weigh in?
small-timer like me. Just, please,
See,
let me go.
it was a hasty patch. Well, go while you can, Farrick. So she's got away. Don't know if I have to get a bit closer to all the gym here. Yeah.
You come seeking my aid, and then refuse a simple request? This is not an auspicious start. Nevertheless,
There's a better
you
voice
have
over going on
something I
quieter.
want.
It runs a bit
And
louder.
I have something you need. The only logical conclusion is cooperation.
So that decision had
I
no
will
meaning
return to the Alpha
whatsoever.
Quadrant with you, and render whatever assistance I can.
There is a price, though.
There is a price, though. For more than 30 years, Starfleet has held one of the Founders as a prisoner of war. Imagine the hubris it takes to contain a god. The arrogance. When the Founder is returned to me, you will have the Dominion's complete cooperation. And my guarantee that Karukan and his fleet will not trouble Deep Space Nine again.
Well, that sounds fair. Let's leave the Gamma Quadrant then. So Messias Chibi's come back in and said, "Congratulations on a successful mission, although I'm not voiced for some reason. Starfleet Intelligence speaking to Weyoon, and whoever else was in his head with him. He's been quite cooperative for a Vorta, and I'm confident we'll be able to come to an agreement that's best for everyone. We must have DS9 back. Starfleet is dedicated to retaking the station without additional bloodshed, if that's possible. Right now it looks like Weyoon may be our only hope of doing that. Oh look, I can get a turret. That's a set, incidentally, if you do want a Gem Hadar set, which give you a couple of bonuses. You can play this mission 3 times. So we've got a new mission.
The Federation Council has authorized the release of the
Oh, you're
Founder from the
voiced now, are
detention
you?
facility where she is currently being held. I need someone the Founder will respect to complete the transfer. You're the best candidate for the task. I don't expect any problems. But I didn't expect Gem Hadar from the past to crash the board conference either. So take my recommendations with a grain of salt. The important thing is the safety of Aaron and the Founder. We need
Aaron?
their help if we want to end this standoff
Who's that?
without more bloodshed.
Okay. So, that's going to be our next mission. So I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't. Like I say, it's really not one of my favourite missions, but I played through it nonetheless for you guys, so I hope you appreciate it. As always, if you get any comments, do put them in the, well, comments. You can also catch me on Blue Sky at Pieman70, and at Mastodon at Pieman70, although I'm not looking at Mastodon much at the moment, but who knows, the world of social media is strange and fickle at the moment. That said, again, if you if you want to talk to me, probably the best one is the comments, if I'm honest. I will be back with more of Drakhara and more of this this story in a bit. Well, not in a bit, but next time, and I will hopefully, you'll be hopefully seeing me then. Again, I've absolutely ballsed up the eggs at this episode, but that's what we're getting. I'll probably not even edit this out. So yes, please do get in touch. Again, if you've really enjoyed the content, do like and subscribe. Again, it's just good for things showing up on algorithms. And if you want to see more, if this is where you've joined or you just joined to watch, say how to get through the Deep Space Nine missions, you can watch me play lots of other things and other games as well. So there is all of that available on the channel. Once again, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you next time. But until then, bye for now.